I'm Andrew.
And I'm Angus. We're from Cracka Wines. Today, it's time to travel around the world.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to South America today, and more specifically, we're going to Mendoza.
Here we are, Mendoza in Argentina, and this is not any Argentinian wine, though.
No.
This is a bunch of young Aussie winemakers go over every year to make, their own interpretation of, what Argentina does best, which is, of course, Malbec. I mean, Malbec, big black wines, fruit-filled wines, really generous wines with Argie steak. It's gold, absolute gold.
Exactly.
Absolute gold.
And me and Angus were actually just discussing how Australian we actually think this wine is.
Yeah, look, I think, when winemakers, I think, travel around, they inevitably take some of their homeland with them.
And then their own winemaking style as well.
And you see Frenchies doing it in Australia.
Yep.
The same thing. And I think this is, tastes a hell of a lot like South Australian kind of, not heavy Shiraz, because Malbec's kind of is a bit kind of, it's full, but it's a bit soft on the mid palate.
Yeah, it's kind of like, if anything, there's almost like a Mataro in some ways. It's almost like there's some edges of Mataro in there. And again, it's quite a ripe wine. I mean, the difference is that obviously this Argentina's a little bit cooler as far as a region. So you're looking at a slightly cool climate style. But it still tastes very Australian.
It's got those Malbec tannins though. Like
it does have Malbec tannins.
In Australia, you wouldn't see wines kind of with this kind of graininess of tannins, I think, which is not a bad thing. It's just what Malbec does. If you go to France, grainy tannins. If I was having Argie steak, I'd love to have, taste of Argentinian wine, Malbec, Aussie guys doing us proud.
Exactly right.
What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I am not completely sold on this.
Okay.
Look, I think Malbec's a really interesting variety, and I think that in particular that Mendoza does it really well. But I just don't think it has the drive through this. It's kind of like just a little bit light on, It's kind of like, this is a bit of Malbec, but it's just not quite there. Yeah. There's not the drive and intensity through it. Not compared to some of, particularly the best things. Well, the classic ones, all those high altitude ones, and we're talking like 1,500 meters altitude sort of thing. Some of the highest vineyards in the world up there.
That's right.
And they have this real minerality to them, a real richness, but at the same time they've got this lovely tannins and depth behind them.
That's right.
And this doesn't quite have it for you.
So here we got bit of Argentina, Malbec, tasty, $30. Not bad.